In the previous video, we considered how to capture the benefits of a pricing mechanism in a market by looking at how much additional buyers would have been willing to pay. And we called this consumer surplus. But buyers form one side of the market and sellers form the other. So in this video, we'll do a similar thing for sellers. Last week, we introduced a model to capture the relationship for an individual seller between a price and their willingness and ability to sell at that price. And we found the supply curve by adding up all the sellers in the market to find the market supply curve. And for a given price, if we knew the supply curve, we could always find the quantity supplied by intersecting the price with the supply curve. This would essentially answer the question for us: how much is the market willing and able to sell at this given price? And when we change the price from the law of supply, we know the quantity can change and will move in the same direction as price. If price decreases, quantity supplied decreases. And if price increases, quantity supplied increases too. Let's consider a seller who is facing a price of $7, but is willing to pay $5. This is really nice for the seller. The seller would have been willing to charge $2 less, but instead, the seller can keep those extra dollars. And this is for one seller at one quantity. To find the producer surplus in the market, we need to look at every producer selling at every unit. To do this, we'll start again by finding the producer surplus for the seller with the lowest willingness to pay. Then we move out across the whole range of units sold, quantity supplied. This gives us geometric objects that have area. We can find these areas with some basic geometry. We're going to focus mainly on producer surplus here, but be aware of costs. We'll come back to them at a later section. When the price changes, quantity supplied also changes. And since producer surplus and cost depend on these changing numbers, they also change in the ways we would expect. When we decrease the price, producer surplus and costs both go down. When we increase the price, producer surplus and costs both go up. So in summary, to find the area of the producer surplus, we want to look at the area below the price, above the supply curve, and inside the quantity supplied. In our next video, we'll bring these two concepts of consumer surplus and producer surplus together into one model, and we'll think about what we call efficiency, maximizing the welfare in the system.